shouldn't keep on punishing me.
Some folk won't let go, Reese, and they've got nothing better to do than to poke their noses into other people's business. There's nothing you can do about it, son.
I'm doing a good job. I'm working hard. I swear, Mrs. Graves thinks I'll start nicking stuff if she turns her back for a second.
Liz is all right. She's one of the good ones.
Yeah, well, she's not exactly honest with her husband about what she gets up to.
None of that. You're angry about people judging you. Don't be so fast to judge others.
I'm sorry, Frank.
Keep your gob shut, your nose clean, and your head down. Do you think you can manage that?
Gob, nose, head. Got it.
And steer clear of that Rachel girl. If I've seen you two making eyes at each other, then so's her dad. And you don't want Sam Baker coming round after you. Now, pass me that socket spanner and we'll see if we can get this wheel back on.
Can you see the observatory from there?
That's over the ridge, just past the windmill. You want to live near the station in case you need a quick getaway?
Something like that. So you and Steven, I'm sensing there's not a lot of love lost there, huh?
That's between him, me, and the cows.
You're gonna have to explain that one for me.
It's nobody else's business. Look, you seem all right to me. You don't want to worry about that lot in the village.
Provided I'm left alone, I'm happy. Steven's the one who likes to be at the center of things.
No change there, then.
Francis Appleton. You are a bad man. No wonder your sister won't talk to you. Under the microscope, you could see how the light was following the cellular structure of its wings. Under the microscope, you could see how the light was... Under the microscope, you could see how the light was following the cellular structure of its wings. The neural simplicity of the insects seems to prevent a full-blown infestation, so there's none of the hemorrhaging I'm seeing in the birds. But Stephen's wrong. This...
Breaker 9, call in on 9. This is Lost Cowboy looking for anyone out there. Hello? Breaker 1-9. Breaker Travelin Sherlock. Charlie, you out there? Over. Hello?
My family, my wife and kids.
You know perfectly well what you've got to do.
I can't do it. Don't ask me to do it. You're asking me to sign their death warrant. My own family.
Damn it, don't you think I'm aware of that? I'll still be here when you drop the fucking stuff.
No.
Don't you lecture me about
No.
sacrifice, you
You
spineless
stupid,
little shit.
stupid
If
bastards!
you're so full of ideas, you come here and try dealing with it. Tell them the time when we had a choice is over. Tell them to do it. You've got to do it now.
Wade called me in about 6 weeks after, once he thought I could cope with knowing.
Cannot fall. The conviction of things not seen. We have to trust him, even when his methods are hidden from view. Maybe see you on Sunday.
I hung up on Stephen. He doesn't understand. Even if he were here to experience it directly, I'm still not sure he would. There has to be a way of consolidating, of offering reciprocal amplification to this signal. telescope up and running again, but the pattern has burnt itself onto the lens. It's soaking up light and radiation, but not routing it anywhere, so I can only guess that it's using it as an energy source in its attempts to communicate. It needs more power. I wonder if I could boost the reception by using multiple towers.
Frank, for God's sake, stop!
Now what you've done.
Where's Lizzie? Where is she? I've got to find...
Someone's got to warn them. Someone's got to stop it.
You can't stop it. We don't do this. It's not just the valley. It's everything, Frank. It's all gone.
You're talking bollocks.
You can't stop it! Jesus!
You take one step closer, I'll bash your bloody skull in, I swear to God!
All right. I'm going. But if you see Lizzie, tell her to get out. There's still time. Please, Frank. For her, not me.
If you're that bloody caring, you can save her yourself.
Don't you get it? I have to stay. Someone has to be here to confirm that everyone is dead.
The radio telescope in Tower 6 is burned out. The background radiation coming in from the Penrose region is off the scale. It's like mathematics is bending along with the light. Everything is bathed in a strange glow. My face is still numb from the burn.
How's your sister, Frank?
We've not spoken since the funeral.
Ah, I see. Well, listen, I did rather wonder if you might do me a bit of a favor and check in on her, see if she's all right.
Dr. Wade, if they dropped the bomb, there'd be no left but cockroaches and Wendy Boyles.
It's a bit odd, really. There's an old chap, John Coles, regular visitor at Lakeside, went walkabout sometime last night. Now it appears Mrs. Boughton has done the same.
Enid? Well, that'd be clever. They amputated her leg last spring.
Yes, that's the thing. I've also got a surgery full of people with nosebleeds and headaches. The council are saying influenza, but I've been practicing for 35 years and I'm not convinced. I just wondered if you might pop by and see her.
Even if I did, do you really think she'd let me in?
Fine. Forget it. I'll see her. Leave it to me. Oh, and Frank, call the hospital and get them to collect all this stuff. It's been 8 months.
bloody England. You can't just stop the train, stop people travelling about the place. I don't like it, Frank. I don't like it at all.
And nobody likes it. No sense sweating cobs over it.
Folk all riled about it, giving me grief. I didn't stop the bloody trains, did I? And did they give me any warning? No, they bloody didn't. Yesterday, it's all like, keep 'em calm, Howard, minor disruptions, and today it's all government edicts and not until further notice, and you'll manage. Half the village has vanished.
It's a couple of people. It's hardly half the village.
Oh, right now. You forget I've seen things. I was in the Falklands. I tell you, I got out the old air raid siren to test it this morning.
Air raid siren. What on earth are you going to do with one of those?
I found it in the station storeroom. Took it home, stuck it under the bed. Thought it might be worth something one day. Oh, damn it.
It's all right. It's just a nosebleed. Here, use my Yankee. It's clean.
Oh, thanks, Frank, thanks. Been like a bloody train all day.
Miss Graham.
Morning, Frank.
You look a little out of breath. What's up?
Bloody observatory gates have failed. I came to see if I could borrow a ladder.
Bloody hell, there's a 12-foot drop the other side of that wall.
I'm old, but I'm not useless now. Can I borrow the ladder?
No one said you were useless. Reese?
Hi, Frank.
Fetch Graham the ladder, will you, lad? It's round the side of the barn.
Will do.
And you be careful. I don't want Stephen Appleton coming mithering round here because you've broken your neck. Were you?
Jeez, what the bloody hell are you doing?
What are you up to?
Get out of my way. This is important.
You've been with Lizzie. You mess with her, I'll knock your bloody block off,
I
son.
need to track the pattern. It's critical.
What are you talking about, Stephen? People are sick. Birds are dying. My cows are dead. Where's Kate?
Set up at the tower for all I know. I could recalibrate the radial coordinates on the primary oscillators. If that holds up...
Stephen, where's Kate? What's going on?
Just keep out of my way!
You never mentioned anything about them sickening yesterday.
I checked them last night on the way back, and they were fine. I woke up this morning and the whole lot had gone. Tell me, Charlie, have you heard any birds today?
Well, I've not really been paying any attention.
That sister of mine reckons they're dropping out the sky all round the Wrekin. And Dr. Wade reckons there's sick folk all over the village.
Meg said not to bother trying to get deliveries out. Said the quarantine in the whole valley. I reckon it's best we just sit it out. It'll all come right, Frank.
This'll all come right?
Yeah, right. I am sorry about your cows, Frank. But when things settle down, they'll see you all right. There's got to be provision for this sort of thing.
You want to listen to the radio more? Things don't seem like they're settling down at all. I tell you, Charlie, something big is happening. Go.
Oh, thanks, Frank. That should get it out of the way. I don't know what happened. It just died on me.
Give it another go.
Oh, I only just put petrol in it as well. Robert's taken the other car into town. I wish he'd get back. He promised me that he'd be back this morning.
You think he's off on another bender?
Oh, I can't police him all the time, Frank. He's not a child.
What's going on, Lizzie?
Nothing.
You're seeing Stephen again, aren't you? You two can't keep pithering on like this. If Robert hasn't already worked it out, he soon will.
Oh, not if he carries on drinking the way he is. Shit. Pardon my French, but bloody shitting thing, why won't it start?
Come on, I'll give you a lift. My name is Frank Jacob Appleton. And if you're listening to this, then maybe Stephen was right. And by sending the planes, he stopped it all getting worse. It's a beautiful morning. I wasn't there when Mary died. I was too scared. So I went to the pub instead.
So beautiful.
What will be, Frank, she said. And I just want you to face it with me. And I didn't. But I will now. I will face it with you now, Mary. They're coming.
I wish in real life they went to see that shit. You could tell how romantic. You know, go on a date. You should take a woman out, look in the sky, about like 10, 11. Damn.
The lines. Weren't you listening to the radio? Because of the flu.
There is no flu, Lizzie.
Oh, Christ, Stephen, I'm not stupid. Of course there's no flu, but the stations are still closed.
There's an access footpath that runs alongside the main tunnel. You can get out that way. They won't have thought of it.
You know what's going on, don't you?
You can't use the phone anymore.
What, like you're not using one right now?
Funny. Listen. Just don't use the phone after this. No TV or radio either. It can hide in the signal.
You make it sound like it's alive.
I don't think we have a word for what it is. Just promise me. Don't tell anyone. Pack quietly. Meet me at the station tomorrow, all right?
I feel awful lying and leaving all these people here.
It was a brilliant idea about the show. Top marks for that, you clever thing. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
We're not even really talking at the moment, if I'm honest with you. I've been sleeping in one of the empty chalets. Otherwise, we just sit there in silence. And then he goes off and pretends he's not drinking from one of his secret little stashes. And I pretend I ain't noticed. And then when we go to bed, it's all I can do not to scream. I don't know why we're still together. Except I do. Still love him.
You remind me of Mary when she was your age. If we'd had a daughter, I'd have been proud if she turned out like you.
You don't have to say that.
Just talk to Robert. Tell him you know he's drinking again. You two can work it out together. I know you can.
I wish I had your faith. I just don't want to be the person who stayed because they were afraid to move. I know you can't dwell on the past. I know that, but sometimes you do just think, don't you? What if the accident hadn't happened? I could have been anywhere right now, rather than stuck here rehearsing Peter bloody Pan and fixing tumble dryers for the umpteenth time. Oh, Frank, you are an angel.
Don't be daft. You're still young, Lizzie. You got plenty of time to be whoever you want to be. Just don't keep using that leg of yours, or that husband, as an excuse.
This is Kate Collins and Stephen Appleton. Leave a message.
Stephen,
It's me. I'm leaving. I've waited as long as I can. If you are there to meet me, I'm leaving for the station now, but I am going anyway, whether you're there or not. But I love you. Please be there. I love you.
Found it like this?
Yeah. I got into the habit of checking in first thing in the morning just to make sure he's had his pills.
Mr. Coles is not a well man, Elizabeth. It's entirely possible he upped and wandered off. If things progressed, the mind can be a fragile thing, you know?
It's just not very like him, that's all I'm saying, Doctor. He never misses the mid-morning bingo.
He didn't smoke, did he?
Not that I knew of.
There's a funny... It's like ash.
Well, that is odd. Reese cleaned in here yesterday afternoon. I'll have to have a word.
It's not like cigarette ash. Strange.
Dr. Wade, there's just been a phone call. We need it back at the village. Apparently Mrs. Barton has disappeared.
It's quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You ever seen anything like it? They must be well happy at the observatory place.
They're probably all partying there right now. This is right, boss.
It is. Right. That's me. Short leash. Kids up half a night, bloody teething. Missus will kill me if I'm gone too long. Good night, mate.
Night.
You shouldn't be smoking, you know. Not in your condition.
Stephen's fault. He got me started again.
I'm not going to try and stop you, but the weather's looking pretty rough. There's a storm coming.
That's what Steve had said. He said he'll meet me, but there's things he has to do first. He seems to think that all of this is connected to him. I don't know. I'm going anyway, whether he comes or not.
I'm assuming Stephen has thought of a way through the quarantine.
Well, he's clever. You gotta give him that.
Do you trust him, though?
Well, I love him. So I'd hope that was good enough.
I hope so, too. Listen, if you can't get through, for whatever reason, I'm getting people together at the village hall, rounding up stragglers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've got all the campers together here, doing a show. Peter Pan. The kids love it. It'll take their minds off things. Hey, did you see that?
Mrs. Graves.
Sean, baby Dylan's he all right?
He's fine. Di, come on.
It's okay. Let's get you a cup of tea.
Mrs. Graves, I need to tell you.
Leave it, Di.
You try and get out of the valley. All the roads are shut now.
I know. I was driving really fast, but the other car was on the wrong side of the road, and oh God, I think
Di, for fuck's sake, leave it.
It's all right. Hey, you're all right. Sean's all right. Baby Dylan's all right. That is what matters. Everyone's all right.
But
no. Now I need your help. Some of the children, they're getting quite frightened. So Rachel and I, we decided to push forward the show, keep them occupied. You said the other night you play piano. Can you help with that?
Yes, I suppose so, but Mr. Graves, Rob
can look after himself. He's a big boy now. Don't worry. Just head to the hall and find Rachel. She'll tell you what needs practicing.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Graves.
Yeah, Sean, go and find Reese, please, see if he needs some help.
Yeah, of course.
Go on.
Oh, Robert.
This is a public service announcement from Haverton District Council Emergency Measures Committee. Road and rail closures are being implemented to help contain the outbreak of influenza. Please remain calm and indoors. Local community leaders, head teachers, scoutmasters, and members of the clergy will act as your representatives during this period. But be sure to report any symptoms of illness.
done her on her.
Don't say that, Reese. She wouldn't do that. Would she? What about Dylan?
She's not exactly jumped at the chance of looking after him, is she? She's just left you to it. She's not coming back.
Then let her go. She's always thinking of everyone else. There must be something important she needs to do.
It looks like you're in charge now.
So I guess this means we're not leaving, are we?
Spain can wait. Listen, you get back in there, and you make this the best bloody Peter Pan ever performed in England. And I'm gonna go and get your mum and dad.
Promise me you'll come back.
I promise.
Hello, Catherine.
It's Kate. Elizabeth?
Lizzie. I've heard a lot about you. It's good, you know, you and him. It's not difficult or anything.
Should it be?
I'm sorry?
You said it wasn't difficult. I don't see why it would be difficult. You and Stephen were together a long time ago. He moved away. It certainly isn't difficult for me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you or...
Well, I'm not offended. Listen, Elizabeth...
Lizzie, please.
Lizzie. Right. You seem like an okay type of person. And I'm not trying to be rude, I promise. But let's try and be realistic here, huh? Let's, try and do our best. That's a British thing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it is. We'll do our best then.
I found another dead bird over at the swimming pool.
That's the fourth one this morning. Did you fish it out?
Yeah. Did you get a chance to think about that pay rise?
Oh, I'm sorry, Reese. I've been a little bit busy. Oh, Rachel.
Sorry I'm late, Mrs. Graves. I was packing away the tennis things.
Did you check Mr. Cole's chalet again like I asked you to?
He's not back yet.
I haven't seen him either. Do you think he went into town?
Maybe, yeah.
Only
like
it's that the Dentons were booked in for a 4:30 tennis session, but they didn't show up. So I went to their chalet. You know, they always take the one near the campfire, but they weren't there either. I think maybe they went into the village for a Hoover bag and might have given Mr. Cole a lift.
A Hoover bag? Why on earth would they do that?
Well, I think maybe Mrs. Denton was hoovering and the bag broke, so they had to get another one. Because there's this dust all over this chalet.
Let me get that.
I can manage.
Is your hip giving you grief today?
Always gives me grief. And I managed for the last 10 years, so you're a little late for the knight in shining armor routine.
Suit yourself, I'm only trying to help.
God damn it, Stephen. I'm not some useless, sappy girl that you can just string along forever. Look around you. I made all of this. I built it on my own when everyone else had written me off as some poor little cripple.
You know that's not how I see you.
Well, you weren't there, were you? No. You'd given up on me long before the accident.
What do you want from me, Lizzie? I love you. I'll do anything.
Anything except okay? I love you too, but sometimes I think you just say what you think everyone else wants to hear.
Don't touch it. It's fine.
It's like a sunburn, but it's a funny shape. Is it sore?
I can't feel it at all. Don't fuss over it.
I can't believe that you left Kate there. Why won't you tell me what happened?
She's probably not even noticed I've gone.
Ah.
It's really nothing.
You're lying. Don't lie to me.
Fine. We had a row. She'll work all night anyway.
Stephen, listen to me. Was there an accident? Is that how your face got burnt?
It's nothing. Something, I don't know. Just got a bit shaken up and then we fought. She wanted to stay and collect more data.
Was she burnt as well? Is everything all right?
Jesus, Liz, are you sleeping with me or her? She's fine, we're both fine. I don't want to talk about her. I came here to see you.
I just worry...
Well, don't. Come to bed.
Hey, it's just been on the radio that they're closing the roads. Something about the flu?
No one here has flu, Sean. There's no flu here. I overheard Mrs. Graves, and she said another family of Upton left. She said they must have left last night, but their car and all their stuff's still here.
Screw this, Di. There's 15 people Upton left in 2 days. I don't like it. Where's the baby?
Asleep in a caravan. Sean, I don't want to sit around here waiting for it to get worse. I reckon if we leave now, we can get out of the valley before they get their acts together and close the roads.
You think so?
Yeah, we can go the back roads, through the woods. I'll leave some money on the side for Mrs. Graves. You know her husband isn't back yet either.
He's a boozer, right? That's what I've heard. That's your problem anyway.
Don't be unkind, Sean.
Come on, let's go and get there then.
I think it was instant. I know that's no help.
Can you leave me alone?
There was nothing we could do. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Pat.
You've woken the baby. Just leave me alone.
Rachel, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hi, this is Kate Collins and Stephen Appleton. Leave a message. I tried to leave the observatory, but couldn't. I stood at the gates, but couldn't conceive of a world outside. The strangest feeling. As if the valley, Stephen, everything was simply irrelevant. An idea of something, not as something itself. I'm losing track of time. Of whether I'm asleep or awake. My fingers have gone numb at the tips. It's like they still feel. But what they feel is no longer for me. Like the signal has been hijacked. All 5 towers are now operating together, and I've got the reception up to the red zone, but it's not enough. I'm going to try and route the signal through Tower 6 to create a singular point of reception and re-coordinate the optical array, which should, in theory, focus a signal spike on the point of origin. If I conceptualize this origin point as a 7th tower, then it makes a kind of sense. Kind of. I think we're moving so far beyond everything I understand about physics. Anyway, it's gotta be.
This is a public service announcement from Haverton District Council Emergency Measures Committee. Road and rail closures are being implemented to help contain the outbreak of influenza. Please remain calm and indoors. Local community leaders, head teachers, scoutmasters, and members of the clergy will act as your representatives during this period. Be sure to report any symptoms of illness.
things.
Rachel? Hey, what on earth's going on?
It's been awful. The thunder and the lightning and all the power went out. And everyone was in the hall, so I told them all to stay put. And then Sean Davis said he was going to be told what to do by a stupid bloody girl who went out for a cigarette. And then didn't come back. And then Di, she went out after him and she didn't come back either.
Where's Dylan? Is he with Sean and Dory?
No, I've been looking after him. Do you think they'll come back?
I don't know, Rachel.
Sleeping baby, darling child, clouds and starlight, starlight, starlight. When you wake, you will be mine. Starlight, sleep and love. Sleeping baby, shadow dust, clouds and starlight. Numbered starlight. When we're called to go, we must into starlight, sleep and love.
Is he asleep? You all right, kiddo?
I'll be all right. You should get some sleep, Charlie. You look exhausted. That's it. Sleep.
I'm gonna stop right here. I'll continue this later tonight. And I'm gonna push another game called Brother. I hope y'all like it. And don't go nowhere.